Hello, everyone. This is Sonia Jones with GIP Financials, your Mr. Miyagi of Money. Again, thank you so much for attending the series on the four financial roles. And I tell you guys, we have had an amazing time interviewing all of our guests. We have talked about the tax preparer. We talked to our tax planner slash financial advisor and retirement planning specialist. And today we are talking to the bookkeeper, who is near and dear to my heart because the bookkeeper is one of our positionettes. And when I tell you that she is definitely a dynamo in her right. And we're going to talk about also, even in the role of bookkeeping, there are niches and specialties as well, not only in who we serve, but how we serve. So I'm so excited about this interview. So I want to introduce to you the CEO of Legacy Pro Accounting and one of GIP Financials position. It's none other than Miss Latasha Long.
Hello, thank you.
Hey, boo.
Hey, girl.
Hey, girl. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well. So much better now that I got one of my positionettes with me today. And so I'm beaming with pride because Latasha has just been doing her good ministry. Not just with us, but also on Al Gore's internet. She has been shining. Her light has been shining. Let it shine, let it
I've been trying.
It has been shining. So let's get started. So Tasha, give us an introduction about you and how you chose this role as bookkeeper and how you decided to start, how God gave you the vision for Legacy Pro Accounting.
Well, I've been in the accounting industry for over 15 years now. And this time last year, God spoke to me and said, I need to start a bookkeeping business. And I was like, Chad, are we sure about this? Did I hear him right? So I started the process of just trying to figure out where to go and what to do. And he told me that he would send a mentor my way, and he did just that through you. So thank you for having me.
No problem, no problem. And especially talking about the mentoring part, Latasha and I are in a mentoring group with our amazing mentor, Pastor Sean Strickland, and her mentoring group is the Soul Shift Inner Circle Business Mastermind of probably about 70, 80 women. We meet once a week and we just pour into each other. She challenges us to grow, ask the tough questions about ourselves because we can only be, good to our clients. One, we got to make sure that we are good within ourselves, right? Get all the ick out, right? So we can properly serve our clients. And so we're going to talk a little bit more about the CEO side about starting your business and the investments necessary to develop yourself. So I'm gonna put that on the shelf over here on the side. That's all day. Right, how we've grown with her. So we talked about your introduction, why you've chosen this role. So we've talked about how our roles help entrepreneurs, but and when I tell you guys, we have tag teamed and did some Batman and Robin, some good old hot seat ministry with some of our clients. It has just been amazing watching. We'll get off the consultation or get off the call and be like, sis, what just happened? It was just like, whoa, it was just amazing, right? So I definitely want to hear from your heart about how your role as an entrepreneur has helped entrepreneurs and what kind of division God's giving you specifically for Legacy Pro.
Well, I help entrepreneurs manage their monthly bookkeeping, saving them time so they can focus on growing their business. And a lot of business owners, like, they are overwhelmed by their numbers. A lot of people come to me and they're like, I'm overwhelmed. I have no idea what this means. Numbers make me cringe. And I'm like, okay, that's my thing. That's what I do. So I just take their numbers, categorize them for them on a monthly basis, and make it make sense to them. So, in breaking everything down as far as, what they should be doing, what they should not be doing, and just partnering with them on in their business so they can, if they choose to grow and scale, then we have the data that they need.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we get a lot of our consultations from just that one standpoint, especially, around tax time. Or if
Mm-hmm.
there's or around a deadline, because it doesn't necessarily have to be specific to tax time. It could be business taxes. Or somebody just send them a letter in the mail saying that they owe a whole lot of money and they freak out and they don't know what they need to do or what the first step that they need. And a lot of business owners really don't understand the importance of just having good records and the
Right.
amount of time,
Mm-hmm.
and missed opportunities that, they miss, opportunities that they missed for not having good records in place.
Mm-hmm.
So business credit, because they're going to ask you about, your annual, revenue and things like that. Grants. Nobody's going to offer you free money. And I put that in air quotes because everything that's offered to you free, especially in the realm of business, is not free. They're going to ask you those questions about your business structure and your financials, right, in order to get
Mm-hmm.
the grant. And also with lending, right? So we're going to
Right.
talk about that as well. I was just on a webinar with Hope Credit Union with Women's Business Center South, and this is unheard of because the business loan facilitator that was on the call, his name was Zachary Rogers, and hopefully I can get him on to do an interview as well. He literally walked the entire audience through the required documentation for the Hope Credit Union, 2 loans that they were featuring in the webinar. He walked through the
Mm.
P&L, the cash flow statement, the balance sheet, and also the debt schedule. I was like, look at this. Yes. So I'm here to tell you that the banks are not playing with the business owners, right? So this is
Not.
why, right? This is why bookkeeping is so important. I just wanted to put that out there. This is real time, real life stuff that's going on. And you need to invest if you're going to be a successful business in an ethical business. You need to make sure that you have partners that are going to serve you in the way that you need to be served. So, with that being said, Latasha and I both have prospective clients that ask us all types of questions. With that being said, Tasha, and think about all the different consultations that you've had. The ones that have been pretty productive, the ones that's like, child, what just happened on this Zoom today? If there are, I'm pretty sure there are prospective clients that are listening to us right now. If they're looking for a bookkeeper, what questions should they ask to make sure that they are engaging with the bookkeeper that's going to fit their need?
Well, some of the questions they should ask are, first of all, what type of services do I offer? They want to make sure that I'm even able to service their industry. Other questions I get asked are like, can I help them prepare for tax season? Which I can, because I'm going to provide you with those numbers so you can, by the end of the season, tax year, you can provide it to your CPA or tax preparer. And other questions I get asked is like, well, how can you help me grow my business? And I'm like, child, well, we're going to have to, look at some numbers and we can figure this out together.
Right. Absolutely.
But even just yesterday, one of the questions I was asked, well, how does all of this work? How do you provide your services to me? And I explained, everything is virtual. I use QuickBooks. So, and everything I deliver, I just walked him through, this is how a cleanup service is going to work. And he was like, well, okay, this is exactly what I'm looking for. So hopefully I can, continue to help everyone.
Right, exactly. And that's, we talk about this in our weekly team meetings with, our GIP team meeting. The more specific you are, the more it helps the client as far as what you do. And actually, one of the things that we're doing as a firm is that we just invested in some workflow software. And just with, with Latasha and I going through it with one of our clients, we just recognized, like, child, we needed this a long time ago. Providing us to be able to set up a project, set up tasks within that project per client, because every client is different.
Yes.
And it allows us to track how much time that we're spending per task, per project, per client. So these are the types of if this is the type of data that's required. So as we're getting ready to serve clients and also be able to figure out how much we're able to take on as a firm for 2022 tax time, we're gonna need this data for that, because we're just not gonna be taking in and everybody. We're putting some true systems in place to say, hey, if you're gonna make this investment in your prior year tax cleanup or 2023 bookkeeping services going forward, this is going to be what's required from our clients, because you can't complain about what we're doing if you don't give us what we need to do the job for you. Okay? Well, we talk about that a whole lot as well. Hallelujah!
Whole lot.
Yeah. Oh, glory. So those are some great questions to definitely ask. And that also helps us, to be a little bit more specific and thorough in explaining, what we do to our clients. Because a lot of clients that we service also, on another note, they don't know the proper language because they're hearing stuff, from different places. Like with Nick Smith, that we did our interview with Nick Smith about, financial advisor. The title financial advisor is so large and so broad. People come to him asking about taxes and bookkeeping, and he had to let them know that I don't do that. So sometimes we have to kind of explain some things. That's the whole purpose for me talking about the 4 financial roles, because I want to make sure people are aware about the different functions of each, right? So there's a lot of information and education that's required to make sure that our clients are set up the right way. So let's talk about, the client has asked the appropriate questions. They have had the consultation. They are ready to move forward with Legacy Pro Accounting. So can you walk us through what your intake process looks like?
Well, after they decided they want to work with me, I send them an engagement letter, so that explaining and detailing the type of services that I'll be providing them with. And after that, I will set up a Zoom meeting to go over everything that I'm going to need from them to get a more in-depth view of what their business is, and like credit cards, bank statements, all of that, access to their QuickBooks account. We'll go over all of that on the Zoom meeting. And then once that process is done, then I will start reconciling, once they upload their documents, that is, then I'll start working and providing the services that they need.
Absolutely. And let's, can we talk a little bit about the aspect of asking questions?
Because I got questions.
Baby, Latasha Long, and I told her she to put this on a t-shirt. I got
questions.
Yes, ma'am. And one of the things that I want to make sure that I say with my whole entire chest is that when you are dealing with anybody in, in one of the financial roles, be prepared because we're going to ask you a whole lot of questions. A whole lot of questions. Right? So you can't, first of all, you cannot be offended. Yes, we are getting in your business. We have to keep you from being caught up with the alphabet boys. This is why and I'm just going to keep continuing to say that. We're going to ask you how many accounts that you have. We're going to ask you about your equipment and your assets. We'll explain it to you if you do not know, right? If we see things in the report that look a little off, then we're going to ask you about them, right? So you cannot get all tight in your chest because these are the things that are going to help you when you get ready to prepare your taxes, when you talk to your CPA, when you talk to your financial advisor, and all of that. This is why it's important. We want to make sure that we have that initial consultation and that meeting with you. So we're going to set up, since we're talking about QuickBooks. There are several different subscriptions in QuickBooks, right? So if you're growing one type of business to another, we're trying to make sure that we pick the right subscription that your business can grow into. That's the first thing. The second thing is we want to make sure that you are paying the appropriate amount of taxes. We're going to ask you about your entity, right? We're going to ask if we want to make sure that you're set up in the appropriate tax portals for that. We just talked about that before the interview started, right? About what if your business is in Tennessee, but you're operating in different other states. You got to make sure that you're not only reporting in Tennessee, but you're reporting in those other states as well. And how you report is going to be that as well, right? So it's so many different scenarios that we have to make sure that we're getting we're covering all of the bases for. So I just want to say that out loud. Do not get offended with us. Do not get offended. And if you when you ask questions, and I'll also say this as well, because game recognize game. We want to make sure that we create a safe space for you to ask questions. But we know when you are framing questions in a particular way that may, in our ears, may be a red flag for integrity, or we feel like you're trying to get around a loophole, we'll make sure to reframe it to let you know that we understand what you're trying to tell us.
Listen, we know what's happening.
We know what's happening. That was child around the PPP time. Folks were just trying to figure out ways to get more money. And I'm like, first of all, let me just explain this to you. One, you can't do this X, Y, Z. You keep asking me this, I'm just going to go ahead and disengage. Because at the end of the day, I'm not going to jail for you. Position that's not going to jail for you. Hopefully you won't want to go to jail for you. All of that. So we want to make sure that we stress the importance of, ethical servicing and integrity as well. So that's another reason why we're asking a lot of these questions, right? So I just want to put that out there. You got anything you want to add to that, Tasha?
Listen, just be prepared. Like I go into all of them, tell them, listen, I'm gonna ask you a lot of questions, and I'm not trying to hurt no feelings. I don't want you to get offended, but in order for me to do my job, I need you to be honest with me, because we don't need no surprises down the line. We don't like surprises because then it causes a delay.
Right. And a delay is an expense on you.
And we're trying to help you save money.
Right. And I think that's appropriate for a deacon hand. Right. Yeah. Deacon hand.
Come on in.
Yes. Everybody got to practice the deacon hand. Child, Nick's deacon hand. He was like, this is animated. I know that's
Will
right.
You come? Will you come?
Because it's the opportunity is here. Oh, glory. Yes, so we talked about the intake process. Are we having fun today? We are having so much fun.
So much fun.
So we talked about, the bookkeeping service and what that requires in order for you to have, you know, a great experience with your bookkeeper and the service. You make sure that you're getting the services that you're investing in. So let's talk about the business side of it, because I'm an entrepreneur. Latasha, although she's working with GIP, she's also an entrepreneur. She has her own firm. So let's talk a little bit about our experiences in that regard, because we're talking to entrepreneurs about our services, but also we want to let them know that we understand the journey that they're going through as well as business owners. So, Tasha, let's talk about the investments that we've made in our entrepreneurial journey. We kind of hinted a little bit about it with Pastor Sean and mentorship. But outside of that, what has been the most effective investment that you've made in your business so far?
Well, outside of that, I will say, let me say this, like, mindset was the biggest thing. Like, starting with Pastor Sean, going through the Soul Shift Money classes, and just, like you said, digging up all that stuff that wasn't serving us. Like, that was one of the biggest investments, because if you don't have the right mindset, then, like, you're just going to keep self-sabotaging and getting in your own way and not attracting the clients or that you want to attract. But another investment I've also made in myself is just like the different trainings and the resources. I'm always looking to learn. I'm always making sure that I'm not just sitting on old information. Like, I'm reading things, I'm watching webinars, all kinds of things. So that's another big investment I've made as well. Just trying to make sure I'm putting myself in the best position to serve not only myself, but my clients.
Right, absolutely. And especially for me as a firm owner, everything that I invest in, I make sure that the positioners have it as well. Because they're working with, and the way kind of our structure is right now we have 3 staff accountants, which is, Latasha, Diamond, and Stantasia, and then we also have a client concierge. The staff accountants each have a client that they manage. They enter in their information, they categorize, and the staff accountant is the person that is the number one contact for that client. I come in and analyze pretty much what the staff accountants have done and, look at the reports, and I, give that information to the client. But I also make sure when I'm sharing those reports with the client because I record them, I make sure that all of my positioners get a copy of that. And now that we've invested in Financial Sense, I can also put those notes, the reporting notes, in there as well. So the positioners can also see what I see and what I've also warned the client about, because that's important, right? Because we all work together. And just like Latasha said, from a QuickBooks standpoint, we are always trying to make sure that we're abreast about what's going on from the QuickBooks side, the IRS side, and the tax prep side, because although we don't do taxes, we do the work to prepare for the taxes, right? We prepare for the taxes. So we got to be involved about, like I talked with Bro Tunstall about, like the PPP and EIDL. And I put my whole big old head in that camera. And that's probably why Tyrion was fussing at me, because I had blocked the GIP thing on the top of the ECAM. And I said, if you acquire a PPP or EIDL, you need to invest in a bookkeeper and a tax preparer, because as the administration changes, those tax laws are going to change regarding how you have to report that income, because right now it's non-taxable, but child, that may change later on. You're not sure, right? And so you got to make sure you're involved with an expert, because you don't want to get that letter from the people and they say child, right? Because that documentation, they're asking you to have it on file for 5 to 6 years. They're expecting us to forget about it, and then they be like, hey, big head, guess what? we want this money. You like, child, I didn't know anything about that. Now you right here calling people trying to figure out what's going on.
I'll be like, wrong address, wrong number.
That made me slide out the shirt. Because that's no, that's 9 out of 10, that's probably what's going to happen. Right. So
Mm-hmm.
you got people in place that are going to help you with that. So that helps us make sure that all of our clients are in tip top shape. So because why are they investing in us? Why are they
Right.
spending good money on us? Although yes, we are, a tax deduction. Right? Although we are a tax deduction, we want to make sure we are a good investment for you because there have been too many,
Absolutely.
unfortunately, horror stories about, accountants, doing one part of the business and not doing the other part of the business.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't want to be a part of that. And another thing I want to talk about too is about the bookkeeping part. Talking about our firm because I just want to, keep our audience abreast of what GIP is doing. Tasha and I talked about as well as far as and the position is in our weekly team meeting. I wanted to check in with them to see about what things they want to learn,
Mm-hmm.
in accounting and bookkeeping, because that may warrant us possibly restructuring how we serve our clients, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
Latasha has, a passion for just specifically about cash flow, right? She got a ministry in her shondo for cash flow. And I was like, child, let's talk about that. Because if that is something that, because let's talk about this as well. Some of our deliverables when we're doing our monthly reports for our clients, we
Mm-hmm.
include the profit and loss, the balance sheet, and the cash flow statement. And if there are some extra tools like in QuickBooks that helps us report and inform our clients about maximizing the cash flow and
Mm-hmm.
talk on that, and that's kind of what I'm this child, we're gonna roll with that thing, right? And
Right.
again, yeah, from a business standpoint, we talk about niching down,
Mm-hmm.
right? More specific you are about what your specialties are, because every bookkeeper is not for specific clients.
Mm-hmm.
You got to ask those questions as well. Some bookkeepers just do service industry. Some bookkeepers just do retail, wholesale, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be very aware of what your bookkeeper can and cannot do for you. And so as we're getting a lot of these, new features and hearing about these new things, we're trying to filter that through the mission and the vision of GIP,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because there might be a thing where if I need to outsource something to Legacy Pro because it doesn't fit the mission and vision of GIP, then I already got that resource intact. And I'm going
Right.
to invest because that is a partner of GIP. You see what I'm saying? So I just want to make sure that I'm constantly talking about for CEOs the importance of education, investing in yourself, your mindset,
Mm-hmm.
and having the right network and squad in place because as come to you and you're honest with them, like Nick said, that's going to build street cred with you
Mm-hmm.
to be able to know that they were honest with me enough to be able to say that I don't do this, but I can refer you to
I know
somebody who
somebody
can.
else. Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. And so, did you have anything you want to add to that, Tosh?
Oh, that's spot on. Exactly what we talk about.
Right, absolutely, absolutely. And so, one other question as we're still on the CEO journey, right, the entrepreneurship journey, what advice would you give to entrepreneurs, be it if they're new or just, they might have been around the block? What advice would you give to entrepreneurs? Any advice?
Any advice? Um, Always bet on yourself and continue to show up, especially if you're new. Continue to show up even if you feel like nobody is watching. Even if you're not getting the engagement you're looking for, keep showing up because people are watching. Um, and I will also say that, as you said, invest in yourself. If you don't see yourself going in the direction that you need to go in, um, find somebody that's going to help you get to where you're trying to go. Because, I mean, we weren't made to do this on our own. Partnership is everything.
Ooh, partnership is everything. Let's go. Oh, that was a bar. Partnership is everything. And we got
Partnership is
is everything. And we got one of our inner circle sisters, April Marlowe. She has a T-shirt says my bet is on me. When you said bet on yourself, it made me.
See, girl, I might need to get that shirt.
I need to get. I've worn out my shirt so much. I need to buy some more. I wear that shirt all the time. That's probably the most encouraging shirt that I got. My bet is on me, and it just it's like my paint, because yep. In addition, you got to do your I got questions shirt. I'm just gonna keep throwing it.
Listen, I got questions.
Yeah,
I got questions. Then put Legacy Pro Accounting on the back.
Y'all hear that whole clap? Yes, I would like one of those shirts.
Okay, I got you, girl. I got you.
Yes. Yeah, well, shout out to Dia Barnes, DMB Creations, right?
That's it, Dia. Holla at me, girl.
Yes, Dia. That's another one of our inner circle sisters as well. See, that's another thing with the network. We just keep the money rotating in the squad,
In the squad, we can help each other. Just pull from that. That's a resource. Drop it in the group. Hey, I need help with this. Who got me? And then bam.
And bam. And of course, we cannot talk about the inner circle and our social network without talking about the mastermind that's behind this video, Tierney Lachelle, the PCE Academy. None of this would be possible, child, because if it was me trying to do this on the Zoom, child, be all types of stuff going on. It'll be a senior citizen showcase with bloopers galore. I'm just saying. So we want to make sure we give honor to where honors the visionary behind the scenes, the Tierney Lachelle. Yes, absolutely. Yes, all about honor. That's another thing with CEOs. You make sure that you honor your people. Please honor your people. Pastor Sean has taught us that very well.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about honor, right?
Absolutely.
Yes. So, child, we have had a time today. Have we not had a time today?
We have. It's always a pleasure when we get together.
Oh, yes. It's a mighty good time. Yes, ma'am. So, of course, we cannot end this broadcast and this interview without you talking about your offer for Legacy Pro Accounting. So, bring up your offer and then how can we connect with you?
Okay. Well, first, I have a free tax deduction list. Like I said, I get a lot of tax questions. People don't know what they can write off. And if you subscribe to my email list, you can receive that tax deduction list for free. And I also have a DIY tracker. It includes a tax deduction tracker, a mileage tracker, and just a basic balance sheet where you can plug in your numbers yourself. So let's say you're not in a position now to where you're able to invest in bookkeeping services. Well, we can let you try it on your own and go from there. But I am on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, Legacy Pro Accounting, and I'm excited. Website, legacyproaccounting.com. So follow your girl.
Yeah, did you see the whole mama in me when you talked about that tracker? Woo! I wanted to get up and run, but I didn't want Terry to turn the camera off and fade out too early. Y'all see what my baby done got over there? She got a whole mileage tracker and a balance sheet when you plug your numbers in. Did y'all hear that? Also, girls, let's go.
Sure.
I think that requires you need to put your own deacon hand up for that. Yes. You know what? Go get this tracker. Girl, they done bless my entire soul.
Listen, folks don't be keeping up. So if you ain't ready for me to do it for you, I'm gonna let you try it on your own. You
Girl.
know, keep you on track. And it's an Excel document. So yeah.
Wow. Karen, that just blessed my entire soul. Y'all, please make sure that you get connected with Legacy Pro Accountant. And again, Latasha is one of the positions for GIP Financials. And this is why GIP Financials is the premier bookkeeping experience for you. And we specialize in fundamental business finance education because of the positions such as Latasha. And girl, where will we be without you? Bunches. I love
I
the
love you
baby.
too.
Oh, I love it. So yeah, so y'all, thank you again for another amazing time with GIP Financials and Legacy Pro Accounting. We got some more things coming down the pike, so make sure that once you connect with Latasha and Legacy Pro, that you connect with GIP Financials. We also have our 3 financial mistakes. All that information and Latasha's information will be down in the description below. So that's all that I have for today. Tasha, again, thank you. Love you bunches.
Thank you too.
All right. So, yes. So, y'all have an amazing rest of your day. And we'll catch you on the next interview. Take care.
Bye.